Come on. Girl. I swear you can be it. Okay. I'm being distracted by Boo Cat. She'll come here in a second when she realizes I'm not talking to her anymore. So anyway. Yep, there we go. Got some money. Oh, there she is. You want to be on camera, Boo? You want to be on camera? Meow meow. Oh, I love her so much. Ow, that was unnecessary. Can you let me do the video, please? Seriously, I'm really trying to concentrate, right? Stop biting me. Okay. One thing that I noticed is a vocabulary change, or dare say dialect change, but not really. So let's just stick with vocabulary change. Words I would use with a narcissist that I would not use with anybody else. It's kind of obscure, but stick with me here. Starting sentences with well, maybe, and anyhow, or anyway, depending on where you're from. I know that this is going to be different for each demographic. This is going to be different for the part of the world you're from. So, but think about it. Think about have you noticed that you use different words when you were talking to the narcissist? So I'm just going to lay it down with what I noticed. I used well, anyhow, and maybe a lot. I never use these terms with anybody else. If a client was to contact me, I would never use his terms. If a friend was to contact me, I would never use his terms either. And it really kind of actually started to make a lot of sense when I started thinking about it. So the term well, let's start off with well. That was always like a defensive posture. Well, they'd be like, you did blah 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 blah, and you'd be like, well, this is why, or this is what happened. It was always a very defensive mechanism, the term well, in the South. I can't guarantee that's the same thing everywhere else in the world, but in the South, if you start a sentence with well, 99.9% of the times you're trying to explain yourself or be defensive. Not defensive, but you're trying to make them understand the situation. And then we're going to go with anyway or anyhow, whichever one you want to use. I found myself always starting sentences with anyhow or anyway as well. And of course, that was just to try to redirect the conversation back at the topic at hand. If I started a conversation and they fucking shifted to something else, next sentence would be, okay, anyhow, what were we doing here? And so that was another thing that I never, ever say that kind of shit to anybody, clients, friends, family. But with a narcissist, I was saying it all the time. All the time. And then maybe. I think maybe was a way to try to avoid a problem. Maybe you use it in a situation where they come at you really strong and you didn't want to use anyway or anyhow. But you wanted to maybe get them to self-reflect a little bit. And you'd be like, maybe you did this, or maybe this happened, or maybe that happened. Again, another term that I do not use with anybody. Anybody. I mean, I would use these terms occasionally. Of course, everybody uses terms occasionally, but they're like mid-sentence. You know, let's take maybe, for example. If I'm talking to my friend, I'll be like, yeah, dude, that sucks. Um, that shouldn't have happened. Maybe we can fix it by doing this. For example, just one example. But I found myself using those terms starting off sentences with the narcissist a lot. And I'm just curious, honestly, this is very obscure. But I'm curious if y'all have noticed the same kind of like dialect or vocabulary change that I have uh, when I was associating with her. I had to talk to her in a completely different fashion than I talked to anybody else. You know, it was just strange to me. I don't know. I mean, it was like weird. I started to notice it like after, a few years. I just kind of was like, why am I always starting my sentences with well, maybe, and anyhow? It's like, it always seems like kind of, I don't know. It was really strange. I mean, I guess if you wanted to pinpoint it or you wanted to direct something at it, it was me or my codependency be trying to please her, but at the same time, that was not. Because if you're codependent, you wouldn't be like, anyhow, let's get back on subject. Or if you're codependent, you wouldn't be like, well, maybe you shouldn't have sucked 10 guys' dicks. It's hard to say. But it was very strange. Because it's the only person I've ever been involved with where I was always using these kind of like buffering. That's a perfect term for it. They're like buffering ways, buffering terms. Um, you know, well, a little buffer, and then you say what you want, or maybe a little buffer, and then you say what you want, or anyhow, a little buffer, you get to say what you want. I think maybe it kind of all boils down to walking on eggshells so much that you start using these terms naturally just because you're afraid of shit happening. It's probably what it is. Technically, it's kind of like non-directional and kind of way out there, but an interesting topic. I want to hear your comments on it. I want to see what y'all have to say on it. Did you find yourself using different vocabulary with the narcissist? I have reason to believe you probably did. So let me know. And that's about it. Bye, guys.